Elon Musk just announced something absolutely insane. It seems like humans will now be able to travel to Mars just like we travel to any country around the world. Now, starting from the year 2027, it seems like we will finally be able to travel all the way from Earth to Mars. And guess what? They're already building the civilization and all the basic necessities that humans need as of now in order to start civilization all the way out there in Mars. And Elon Musk just made this official. He even named it as something that, people have been always afraid of, especially Christians, because things like these, it was always foretold in the Bible, called as the New World Order, which is basically a Christian-believed conspiracy theory, or you can even call it as a prophecy that was already mentioned in the Bible, which basically states that the government is going to be creating a new world, which will happen after what seems to be a fake extraterrestrial alien invasion that's going to be purely created by the government themselves in order to bring fear across all the humans around the world. And once that happens, there's going to be this one guy who rises up and claims to be the savior and is going to save entire humanity from this invasion, and he is now going to sit in the place of a king. And that's when the new world begins, where humans are going to be transported from Earth to a whole new world that nobody knew what it was. But it seems like things are starting to catch up finally. And guess what Elon Musk just announced on Twitter? Apparently the Black Hole account on Twitter, they basically posted one of these images, what seems to be image taken from Mars, and apparently NASA claims that this is how Mars is going to look like, to which Elon Musk tweeted something insane, quoting that Mars is going to be called as the new world, just as America was in the past centuries. And there are so many different AI created images, which seems to be like how Mars is going to look like if humans start colonizing there. We might have McDonald's. We might finally get to live like the movie Star Wars. It might eventually end up becoming a reality, but there is actually something crazy that's going on. Now, for those of you guys who are not familiar with this whole concept of something called as the New World Order, it's basically something very important that has been mentioned in the Bible, which will eventually end up happening during the end days before the second coming of Christ. The New World Order is a concept that some Christians believe is prophesied in the Bible, especially in the book of Ezekiel and the book of Daniel and Olivet Disclosure, 2nd Ezra chapter 11 verse 32 and Revelation chapter 13 verse 7. These eschatologists believe that the New World Order will be a tyrannical globalist conspiracy that fulfills the prophecy about the end times. Now, the Bible also mentions that the new earth will be formed, which is the final state of redemption for humanity. Now, the new earth is described in the book of Isaiah and chapter 2 of Peter, as well as in the book of Revelations. Now, this was also spoken in a recent Joe Rogan podcast, where we actually get like a full-on information about what this New World Order is basically trying to do and how they're going to achieve all these things. And you guys need to take a look at this because it's just insane about whatever is going on as of now. Just take a look at this.
Only way is if there was some extraterrestrial threat from up above us. That would be the only way to have everyone embrace the one world government. They all only way.
You see, there's the only way that all of this is going to happen. Like, just imagine, how are people going to be creating this new government, or like the new leader who's going to be controlling everything across the world? And this new leader is going to be known as Antichrist. Now, for people who have read the Bible, you probably know who he is. And a lot of stuff has been revealed in the chapter called Revelation and Peter's. And apparently the basic concept is that government is going to be creating something called as an alien invasion, which is going to be completely fake. And you guys might already be seeing a lot of signs of what's happening around the world. There is a lot of UFOs and a lot of drones and bizarre stuff that's basically happening around the world. So it seems like there's this project that a lot of conspiracy theorists have already predicted that the government is working on. And a lot of whistleblowers have already mentioned that they have the equipments and they already have so many things out there that's currently living in the sky that the government has already put in there, which they can basically unleash anytime they want. It's called as the Project Blue Bluebeam or Project HARP, which basically allows them to like change weather as far as what they like. They can even make earthquakes. They can even make hurricanes. They can cause all kinds of natural disasters. And also they have this Project Bluebeam, which apparently seems to be some sort of a drone-controlled 3D hologram, which will basically appear in the sky. And they also have the sound effects and everything adjusted. So it basically looks like those things are really happening. Of course, we're not going to go fly across the sky and check if that's real or not. Whatever we're going to be seeing is what we're going to be believing. And the government is definitely going to be putting some restrictions on flying zones and all that stuff. So we don't get to know anything that's going on. But if you guys have seen the Spider-Man movie, where you know Spider-Man fights off Mysterio, and you'll basically see that he uses all these drones-like things, which kind of just, you know, controls what you see around you. Just look at that. The way he just changes the environment and stuff. So I just think, like, you know, some people in the Hollywood, they're just trying to make us aware as to what kind of technologies are possible. You can literally create anything you want. You can just make it seem like something that is not real. And the same dude from Joe Rogan podcast, he also revealed some crazy stuff. Some things were actually spoken about in the United Nations meeting, and these things seems to be finally happening. It seems like these are real stuff at the end of the day.
He said that in front of the UN. Like he's trying to get everybody into
I don't think he ever said that.
No, he said that many times. It's on video many times.
Ronald Reagan?
Ronald Reagan.
Heard of him, Brian?
George Bush was vice president.
Right.
He was talking about, and there's many videos of him saying, what lies before us. He's in front of the nation doing a State of the Union address, saying what lies before us is the opportunity to forge a new world order, an order. Because he's talking about, like he said that.
You see, this whole concept was created long ago, way long ago. During the times of George Bush and all the time, they always had this concept, but then they did not have enough technology in order to do it, in order to implement all this stuff. So it just took them all this time, but it seems like the time has definitely paid off. And as far as what Elon Musk is currently doing, things are actually even more crazier than just the announcement about us moving to Mars, because there is something even more crazy that Elon just announced, which kind of just blew my mind, and I finally understand what is actually going on. Just take a look at this guy named Kaizen, who actually tweets about something that Elon Musk was quoting, saying that Mars is going to be called as the new world. And here comes the new government that they're planning to implement on this planet. And there are some questions that he asks. So once we colonize Mars, how should governance work? Should it be an extension of Earth's nation? For example, like each Earth nation has a part of Mars, or something else. And there's a Mars transfer window in December of 2028 all the way to January of 2029. SpaceX could be sending humans crewed to Mars. Then future is coming fast. To which Elon Musk specifically quoted, stating that the Martians will decide how they are ruled. I recommend direct rather than representative democracy. Unscrew starships landing on Mars in 2 years, perhaps with crewed versions passing near Mars, and crewed starships heading there in approximately about 4 years are all possible. So according to Elon Musk, he basically says that the Martians are going to be the ones who are going to decide what kind of government they're going to be implementing in there, what kind of order is going to be placed. And as far as what he would recommend is that there's not going to be any democracy. There is not going to be the same kind of government which is currently being run, which has like all different leaders and it's been split into all of this different governance and all that stuff. So he says that he recommends a direct approach, which means like just one ruler who controls everything, including Mars. All the colonization and everything that happens out there is going to be controlled by this one guy. We never know who he is, probably, as far as what the Bible already has been predicting and has been warning us. It seems like Antichrist is finally coming to rise. And these are like the preparations that everyone out there, every elites out there are trying to do at this point. And all of this is just incredibly fascinating to see that everything that we have read in the Bible and every single prophecy is coming true. And eventually, keeping all of these things aside, if you just think about all this stuff about how good we are with technology, doesn't that already scare us? Because there are so many problems that we currently have in planet Earth. There is no need for us to even move all the way to Mars at this point. And doing it this fast, which means that we're going to be moving to Mars in the year of 2027, as far as what Elon Musk says. It seems like everything is pretty much just ready out there. I mean, just look at the new technology that we currently have out there, man. This was recently just posted where it seems like, SpaceX rocket, it's able to go all the way up into space, and it exactly lands back in the perfect location they wanted to.
There is our first stage booster standing tall on a short follow gravitas.
Landing.
Look at that. It basically lands on the open sea in like the ocean. And it does it in the most perfect way possible. And this is basically how it does it. It just lands on a perfect space, dude. That's crazy. Here, SpaceX announces that Falcon 9 completes back-to-back missions from California and Florida, delivering 22 Starlink satellites to the constellation and Astroneys from one-to-many missions to orbit on our 132nd and 133rd launches of the year. And this right here is like the footage that they've shared, which basically shows us that Starship is one of the most advanced technology that we could ever imagine as of now that humanity has found out. Big props to Elon Musk, man. This dude is smart as fuck, not gonna lie. Just look at how this booster, it just lands perfectly in that particular spot in the open sea, in the ocean, so that it doesn't harm anybody. So the booster can be reused once again in order to, complete multiple missions. That's just crazy. Look at that stuff. I'm really concerned at the same time, like we're just getting too advanced into the future, but it just seems like things are eventually happening for the good at this point. It just seems like the end days are here. Everything that's being warned is eventually happening, and we are going to be colonizing in planet Mars very soon, and there is definitely going to be a new world order. Just take a look at this stuff. It just came back from space, dude. It just literally came back from space, and it's going to land exactly on this landing pad. That is some crazy stuff. That's just some crazy stuff, man. Honestly, the BBC World News named SpaceX Starship boosters catch as one of the top science highlights of 2024. Definitely, to be honest, these things are just crazy. Humanity is just progressing in ways that we have never imagined, and I think we're going to be reaching the future that nobody ever really suspected. And honestly, man, it's scary. At the same time, it's exciting. And for those of us who already believe in the prophecies of Bible and Messiah coming back once again, the second coming of Christ, it is, of course, a good news as well as bad news for those who haven't repented. I think it's time that we get good with God. And the reason why me being a video game channel is covering all of these videos instead of making gaming videos is because there is absolutely nothing interesting going on at this point in video games. I mean, what would I be making videos on? Assassin's Creed Shadows, where I speak about Ubisoft going woke and adding in Yasuke and stuff. Or if you look at Naughty Dog, they just brought in this new crazy woke-ass game called Intergalactic, where the voice actor of this game is literally making fun of gamers that they don't support a wokeism. And then you take the new Witcher 4 game, which is coming up, and CD Projekt Red announces that Ciri is now a Witcher, which doesn't really have any connection with the lore that was already created. And guess what? It seems like CD Projekt Red has not considered with the original writer of The Witcher 1, 2, and 3's lore. So everything that we are seeing so far in the video game industry, it's all just, woke stuff. And honestly, now that I'm getting close to my 30s, it's just very frustrating to see that video games are no longer video games. It just seems like they're just trying to push in this woke agenda as much as possible, and there are so many people that keep supporting this stuff. And even if I make videos on this stuff, I only keep getting hate just for the fact of me not liking all of this woke stuff. And as of now, the only games that I am really interested in is Grand Theft Auto 6, and there's this new Mafia Old Country, and Rebel Wolf Studios' new game called The Dawn Walker, where you apparently play as this Dracula character in an open world RPG setting, and it's especially made from the developers who did not like the Vogue stuff in CD Projekt Red, and they just left the studio and created their own studio called Rebel Wolf Studio. And the name basically has a very prompt meaning, whereas now they're rebellious against all the Vogue stuff, and they are standing as the lone wolves, and they're going to be making some pretty good game that gamers have always been asking for, and what real video games used to be back in those days. So these are the only games that I'm interested in as of now, to be honest. I'm sick and tired of all the Vogue games that's currently present out there, which is why I wanted to go ahead and expand into different types of content where I try to discuss all the topics that I am genuinely interested in, and at the same time it could also help some people who don't really know what stuff is going on in the world about the Bible and all the prophecies and crazy things that's happening around the world as of now. You guys might also get to learn some stuff if I make some videos like these, and it seems like a lot of you guys are very supportive over all of these contents, and I really appreciate every single one of you guys showing insane support. So thank you guys so much for all of this new support that you guys have been bringing in, and also I really appreciate all of you guys who just take your valuable time in order to drop a like on these videos. It really goes a long way for the channel. And if you guys like gaming content, I'm definitely going to be covering a lot more of gaming content on this channel, but at the same time we're going to be exploring all the different uncharted territories as of now. We're going to cover all different types of contents, things that's going on in the world, conspiracy theories, and weird stuff, aliens, UFOs, and even biblical stuff. These are the things I'm really interested in talking about. So if that is something you guys want to see more, then make sure to go ahead, subscribe to the channel. We are getting so close to hitting 200,000 subscribers, and it's one of the biggest dream come true milestone for me. So thanks to each and every one of you guys who have been showing your support. And with that being said, let me know down below in the comments, what do you guys think about the new world order that is currently getting created? I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments down below. And with that being said, I will see you guys on the next one. Until then, take it easy, fams, and goodbye.